Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky. I'm living Christ. That's what I'm going to talk to you about today. About what a Christ is and what the Satanist is. All of you are living, breathing, flesh and blood, sentient, natural men and women. You each have the subconscious mind, the non-dualistic mind of direct perception of truth, of what is. That's the God mind. That's the Christ mind. However, it can be carried to its extreme, and when unbalanced, it becomes the dualistic mind that is masquerading behind a mask, behind an illusion of pretense. That's the satanic mind. That's the mind of civilized men and women. You, each of you, you're all members of a group think. Call it nationality, call it religion, call it a club. You understand, it's all intellectual. It's based in illusion. It's based in fiction. It's based in ideas. Fragmented, separative, divisive ideas based in definition of words. You are all subject to mind control. No question about that. You cannot deny it. You cannot argue that. You'll argue about everything else. But when you deal with a simple man of truth, one who is in balance of both his subconscious mind and his conscious, satanically ruled, programmed, conditioned intellect, you're talking to a balanced man. That balance is non-duality. You understand? That therefore places him into the fine balance of the non-dualistic subconscious mind. That's the mind of creation. That is the mind of truth, the mind of love, the mind of non-dualistic life, the Christ state of consciousness. Have you got that now? When I use the word Christ, I'm talking about a simple man of truth. A man that knows no separation from other men. He has the heart of all men who come to the point of awareness, of quietness, of oneness, of non-duality. Unfortunately, damn near every one of you have sold your souls out. Your souls are the essence, the energy of non-duality, of the God mind, the creator, self-responsible for all one's actions, all one's creations, one's quality of life. That requires responsibility. Understand? Most of you have given that up in return for being treated as children, treated as sheep, looking for a father, looking for a shepherd. You have institutions of that nature. The government is the father, rules by force, fear. You understand? The church is the mother church. Treats you as a child. It's the velvet glove of seduction, of manipulation. But the father and the mother, the government and the religion, are two sides of the same coin of satanic power. I'm talking to you, and perhaps I'm talking over your heads, because most of you have been trained to the dualistic mind of soaking up what is being said to you and then repeating it back and being judged according to how well you repeat it back. Understand? That's, for you, the schooling process, the educational process that creates slaves, creates obedient persons. What's the difference between a person and a living man? Vast difference. The living man is alive. The person is a dead concept created by the concept of government. Now, the concept of government and religion were both created by living men. Understand? They are merely fictions, subjects, objects of their own mind. That's what a government is. It's an idea in your mind. Without that idea, there is no government. Do you understand? All there is conflict when one man says to another man, I represent government, and I declare that you have committed a crime, and I'm going to arrest you. And if you resist, I will kill you. You look at the police shootings that are rampant going on in our world today, in these United States. And you can't argue that. And I'm talking to you as one of those policemen, for I'm a retired police sergeant. I was forced into retirement by the department that I served. I did not follow satanic policy, and that made me a threat. I had a back injury, a disability claim, and they saw that as an opportunity to get rid of me. So they forced my retirement many years ago, back in the 60s. I retired in 1970. But that was a divine action, one that was part of my destiny. I had to go through the violence. I had to go through the corruption. I had to go through all that so that I could speak firsthand, not merely make it up. So when you hear me speak to you, you are hearing me speak the truth. And that truth cannot be manipulated. It cannot be quieted, destroyed, intimidated. And I have gone through those tests in my life throughout. Started with the city of Pacifica, the suburb of San Francisco, when I was a young sergeant, It continues in Oregon to this day when I retired and took up my place here in Oregon and ran afoul of law enforcement, of satanic law enforcement over a headlight violation and having no license because I had surrendered it in 1999. I have not had a license ever since. Well, my test began on September the 5th of 2002 on that traffic stop. I had no license since 99, and here it was 2002. They cited me for a high beam violation as I was traveling home, not driving. I was not engaged in commerce. I was traveling, utilizing my right to travel, which has been upheld by the Supreme Court of these United States of America. But that didn't deter the Josephine County Sheriff's Office and its courts and its supportive government in arresting at gunpoint that night, putting me in jail, the Josephine County Jail. That began a campaign that lasted 17 years and continues to this very day, here in 2019, when they have stopped me, arrested me, cited me, impounded my car, threatened me. All these things took place. And when I spoke up, revealing it to anyone who would hear, I spoke to the world. But I did not fight them. I merely exposed them. And I used the internet to do it with. My actions spoke for myself. I written down everything. You all believe in Jesus of Nazareth, Jesus the Christ. He's your God, he's your Savior. He was just another man, and you believe the myth, the hype, the legend, written by others who were not Jesus, but were part of a political and a religious movement designed to satanically control men of that time and of this time. Today we call that institution government and religion. And we call that religion Christianity. Nothing more than satanic mind control. Mythological. Superhumans. Myths. Legends. Speaking about men who were gods. If a simple man of truth is a god, we would have a different way of life, wouldn't we? We would not have any strife, no conflict, no contradictions, no arguments, no debates, no wars, no crime, no exploitation. What would you call that kind of life? You'd call that heaven, wouldn't you? But what do we have instead? We have wars, crime, drugs, alcoholism, mental illness, confusion, murder, theft, Fraud? That's everyday news. And you're being plied with that satanic negative news by the media, an organized institution that serves the greater institutions of government and religion. They're the scribes and the Pharisees that were at the time of the life of Jesus of Nazareth. Now they're called media. You understand? And they're populated with talking heads. All these people are removed from the truth of what is. They're storytellers. And they misdirect you with their appearances. The women are beautiful. The men are handsome. But behind that facade are emptiness. People who pretend, who put forth a kind of life that is encouraged for all to take as positive. You understand? They're harmless little entities doing their best to get through life, and they sell their souls in order to do it. And you just buy it. You're entertained. Now, what I've just described to you there, Satanism, from top to bottom, it's all illusion, all a fiction. You even consent to be a fictional person when government declares you to be that, declares you. They are your thought. They have no existence except for your thought. Yet they are dictating to you, a person, a fictional entity, whom they have jurisdiction over, that you are subject to their jurisdiction. And therefore, they control you. They own you. They have power of life and death over you. And you accept it. You consent to it. How dumb is that? You understand? That's your world. And I understand that a man like me, a man of truth, a simple man of truth, who lives truth, who is truth, who acts in truth, and can do naught but speak truth. I'm not welcome. I pose a threat to the entire satanic civilized world. They're looking to consolidate that power over you, the living man. The fictional New World Order, the satanic New World Order, the thought of the New World Order, merely a thought in your mind, now seeks to enslave you worldwide in a one-world order. The satanic New World Order. Not this man. I'm living. And all these fictional institutions are dead thoughts that only exist in my mind and your mind. That's all. I put this to the test, the actual test. I've been through 2 trials. I've stood sui juris, represented. I spoke for myself. I would not accept the lawyers that were being attempted to be thrust upon me by the government. Their purpose? More to defend them than to defend this living man. You see, lawyers are nothing more than part of the system. The same system of hell that you fear. That controls you, that makes the rules, makes the laws, and will imprison you or kill you if you do not obey. I faced all that, and I faced them down. In the 2 trials, I refused to accept the erroneous, guilty verdicts that were declared upon the person, Raymond Ronald Karchevsky, in all capital letters. But that wasn't me. Do you understand? That's my point. They declared guilty the fictional person that they created. They had no jurisdiction over this living Christ, this living, breathing flesh and blood, sentient natural man who has not consented to their being master over him. Well, I've just told you the solution to all of your problems. Did you get it? If you are a living man or a woman and you have not yet changed your status from that of a 14th Amendment citizen, a person, you're a slave, and they got you. It doesn't matter that they go through the show trials. Understand? They have jurisdiction over you, and those who make the rules win the game. So when you go to court and you believe that is a place of justice, you are deluding yourself. It's merely a show trial where word meisters, those who control you with a language which is defined by their definitions, not yours, because you live in a dualistic world. And it doesn't matter whether you disagree with their definitions. They make the rules. That's the long and short of it. And I went to 2 trials like that, and I stood alone. And when it came time for sentencing on the 2 bogus convictions, I refused to accept those convictions. Who does that? Who can do that? Any integral, living man can do that. But how many do? Look at the court system. Look at the prison system. Look at how many have been convicted who were innocent, but were convicted based on definitions, legal definitions that you didn't even understand the definitions of. That's what you're facing when you walk into a court. You're playing by somebody else's rules. And they don't even have jurisdiction over you unless they can make you doubt yourself that they do. Now, you have a glimmer now of what a Christ is, of what truth is. Or do you still cling to storytelling to fairy tales, to myths, to legends, to comic book heroes, of superhumans, when you realize that there's nothing superhuman about being true, integral, and balanced. That's all it takes to make heaven on earth, to step away from the imbalance of the hell that organized society has become, and is repeated in each passing day. You're facing the financial collapse, which will strip away your energy, your money, and leave many of you homeless. That's just a matter of state of mind. That's the profit motive of a satanic ruled society ruled by men who hold illusory power over other men through words. That's hell on earth. It's time to end that. How to end it? Simple. Stop supporting government. Boycott it. Boycott religion while you're at it, because it's the same coin of power, satanic power. Who's speaking about it? I am. And I am that I am. I am every man. I'm neither superior nor inferior. I am you. But I've got guts, which you lack thereof. I suggest that if you question this all as a brag, that you read my website, arkenterprises.com, and lisarayenterprises.com, for they are the truth. They are my notarized truth. I stand by every word written. Jesus wrote nothing in his time, yet he is being worshipped as a god by the fairy tales, the stories told about him by other men who were not Jesus. And you're all slaves to that genre. What I have written myself. No man has written about me. You are getting the truth of who I am and what I have done. And what I have done, so can you. How long do you think government, the government that holds you as slaves, would continue? If you conducted yourselves as I have conducted myself. Understand? This is not being said to separate me into some kind of a hero or image to follow. Be yourself. And when you are, you will act truly. That's how you break the satanic spell of enslavement. Now, all that it takes is for you to act upon it, if you understand it. And if you don't, continue to suffer. Thank you.